Let us continue our discussion of Max Weber's work.
The spirit of capitalism, like other spiritual ghosts and demons, possesses people and animates their behavior. Once possessed, they behave in characteristic ways.
Western modernity is alone in world history. It is the only civilization possessed and animated by the spirit of capitalism.
While other civilizations had capitalism, none possessed the unique features that Weber includes in his ideal type concept.
The spirit of capitalism animates people to pursue money-making as a duty. Profit must not come from gambling, immoral activity, or unethical business practices. The only path to profit is through virtuous, proficient performance of duty in the calling.
The calling is at the center of the spirit of capitalism. One has a duty to make money by working ascetically, virtuously, and proficiently in one's chosen calling.
Those possessed by the spirit of capitalism display devotion to duty in their calling as the central principle of life. All other facets of life become secondary, including family, love and personal enjoyment. All of these are ascetically sacrificed to concentrate upon one's calling.
Using Benjamin Franklin's life and writings, Weber reveals how money-making becomes an obsession with capitalists. They feel that it is their duty to divert money from personal consumption into investment. They feel compelled to use their entire life energy and property to maximize profit.
How did the spirit of capitalism possess Western modernity? How did this demon defeat the spirit of traditionalism and other competing spirits to dominate our world?
Before modernity, all human civilizations had been possessed by a spirit of traditionalism, which led people to work just long and hard enough to support traditional life. This traditional spirit possessed great power and was deeply institutionalized. It was intertwined with and drew energy from traditional ritual calendars, popular culture, religious practices, and everyday community life.
Weber recognized that such a strong, long-enduring, deeply institutionalized spirit could not be negated or exorcised easily. Such an exorcism would require the negation of its varied sources of social energy.
Exorcising the traditionalist spirit could only be accomplished by disrupting the flow of social energy that fed it. Any spirit capable of challenging traditionalism would have to be strong enough to abolish the ritual calendar, dissolve popular culture, fundamentally alter religious practices and completely reconstruct everyday community life.
To Weber, the spirit of capitalism was incapable of exorcising traditionalism. So he looked elsewhere to find a spiritual challenger with sufficient destructive power to dissolve traditionalism's many sources of social energy.
Weber argued that ascetic Protestant Christianity was this destructive spirit. As ascetic Protestantism took possession of people, it forced them to withdraw their energy from traditional rituals, popular culture, religious practices and community life.
This destructive work exorcised traditionalism. Ascetic Protestantism freed the social energy that was channeled into money-making and callings. Ascetic Protestantism freed the social energy that fed the spirit of capitalism.
Ascetic Protestant Christianity was not morally neutral to existing traditional culture, but was overtly hostile and directly opposed to it. Ascetic Protestantism defined traditional ways as ungodly, sinful and abject.
Ascetic Protestant Christianity fed off of the social energy generated by the prevention of traditional amusements. Lent, Carnival, feast days, Christmas, and Easter were all banned as pagan and devilish practices.
Statues and stained glass windows in traditional churches were condemned as ungodly idols. They were destroyed in a frenzy of iconoclasm.
Ascetic Protestant Christianity played a destructive, negating role. It exorcised traditionalism. It forced people to redirect their energy from traditional activities into ascetic, disciplined, money-making in their calling.
Ascetic Protestant Christianity forced people to abandon their traditional economic ethic. They could no longer work in order to support traditional life. They now lived to work, possessed by a spirit that drove them to make money as a duty in their callings.
Sociologist Frederic Jameson has clarified Weber's argument by introducing the concept of the vanishing mediator.
A vanishing mediator is an entity that mediates between two incompatible structures. Vanishing mediators make it possible for two incompatible systems to relate to each other.
Vanishing mediators are transitional structures that make it possible for one system to transform into another that is fundamentally unrelated or incompatible with it.
Vanishing mediators work like cleaning solutions.
Imagine that you have a dark stain on a white carpet. The stain cannot be simply wiped away because it is deeply embedded and intertwined with the carpet fibers. There is no way to move directly between stained carpet and clean carpet.
Enter the cleaning solution as a vanishing mediator.
The cleaning solution contains a powerful solvent that negates the bond between the stain particles and the carpet fibers. It blends with the solid stain, transforming it into a liquid that can be readily wiped away.
The cleaning solution is a vanishing mediator because it disappears along with the stain. It negates or exorcises the stained carpet and vanishes as the clean carpet emerges.
Ascetic Protestant Christianity was a vanishing mediator.
Like the cleaning solution, it disrupted traditional ways, thereby negating the sources of energy that fed the traditional spirit. This was accomplished through overt opposition to traditional rituals, religious practices and community life. It was also accomplished with new work ways that redirected social energy into money-making and callings.
Once the traditional spirit was exorcised and social life was entirely structured around money-making and callings as a duty, ascetic Protestant Christianity vanishes as the dominant spirit.
It transformed the demon possessing the Western world into the spirit of capitalism.
Thus ends part 2 of our discussion of Max Weber's work.